Hey, Fluffy. Well, and you? How are you? Doing well. I just have like, I'm starting to cough. Maybe because it's early in the morning, so I'm like, um, I don't know. I think that, I don't know how singers do this, but probably I should before starting, especially very early in the morning. Before doing the live streams, I think I should do some kind of like voice training, to warm up the voice. Because, or maybe it's my allergies again. Yeah, but I have been having mate before I started. And it's warm, so I don't know. I will have to get like a new chair because I feel sometimes the more I'm seated, like it's really comfortable, this chair. But maybe, a bit higher, like the back. Because sometimes I do feel like it depends on the reading, but I tend to do this to the table, and if I try to sit straight, I don't have the support. So yeah, maybe getting a better chair. For today I have Treasure, new album. Jungwoo, NCT Jungwoo solo debut. I have to read for the actor Lee Joon Gi. That I believe that the person that asked, they were mentioning that it's been a while since he dropped a project of his. For the big hit new boy group Cortis, IVE comeback. Twice Chaeyoung also solo debut in September. And the dynamic between TVXQ, Yunho, and Changmin. Yeah, yeah, like one of those big chair where you can rest your head. And yeah, it's just like to be able to do this, and maybe not being like this in like, it's comfortable. It's a very comfortable chair. It's just that I don't know. I have to find the right posture, I guess, because I don't I don't rest that much. I don't have the possibility. But maybe sometimes I'm like, I'm like leaning forward too much. Maybe I should get something that can keep me. Sorry for all the coughing, guys. I think it's the allergies. Honestly, I think that is allergies. Because today the weather is getting a bit warmer. So, but it had been cold the past days, so it's like my body doesn't understand what is going on, and the first thing that affects me is my throat. I start like like trying to clear my throat as if I have something in it. But yeah, it would pass. Yeah, I saw it was recommended this new group on YouTube. But that name, Cortis, oh my. Maybe I don't know. It sounds cute in another aspects that I don't know. But for me, it sounds like medication. Like I used to have like corticoids, so it's like corticoids and cortis. It sounds like similar. But yeah. Then I wanted to do like a personality reading for the Dreamies for NCT Wish. Not the Dreamies, sorry, the Wishes, NCT line, Magne line, like the NCT Wish children. Um, because I think that even for me, that I'm a citizen, a baby and citizen, I don't know much about NCT Wish. Like I can recognize now. I'm starting to get comfortable with the idea of, oh, this one is this person or this one is this one, but I still got get them a bit confused. There's three of them that I'm like, which one is which? Like, so since they're very young, I don't want to read for them like like a general reading for each member. I think that they're very young. Um, but maybe a personality reading to see you know also like the personality is going to be very general because they are also you know um boys that are in development, like about personality. It's not like, oh my god, this is complex, like they are teenagers. So yeah. I thought at first it was some kind of high business meeting or something. Yes. Yes, I think that yeah, NCT Wish is this is one of my goals, probably like to do maybe next Sunday I will do a live stream only for fifth gen. Yeah, fifth gen. Is it fifth gen and a bit of fourth of the groups that are new and that I haven't read for, like, or I read and I read in a very general way because I don't know much about them. I think that there's something about fifth gen already being here, and like some of us, we don't know these people. We heard them because somehow they do like challenges, or they do covers of other famous groups. But I'm not very much like updated about these people, these new people, and they keep coming. So I have to. I want to give them their space also, and give them a reading if there's some fans of theirs. That they're like, you never mentioned them or you read for them, but it's been a while. So we can get to know them as well, energetically through tarot. Of course, not go that deep, but just like to welcome them to my channel, I would say, because it's nice. There's potential in in the new groups, and I think that they deserve their moment. They deserve to be more appreciated, and I want to do readings for them. Not always be talking about the same people. That I don't like that, because I get bored. I don't like that. Yes, it will be interesting for me an opportunity to get to know them a bit. Yeah, I do like Cat's Eye. Yeah, I read for them because they are more like, I don't know. I think that they are um for me it's like I don't see them like K-pop. I know that they are like formed in the same system, but since there's like a lot of like they are not entirely all Korean. Um and there's something about them reminding me, especially because they have this very Spanish vibe, with the song Gabriela. um, I don't know why they remind me of a group that would come out of Latin America, of Latam. So I kind of feel like I know them, like they are very like, I don't know, even like personality wise or energy wise. I think that they have a lot of personality. They are very expressive, and they are very passionate, and it shows in the cards, and also you see it when they perform. So it's very different from other idols, I would say, or other groups. Cat's Eye, it feels more mature, even though the girls are very young, but it seems like, they come with a lot of fire. They come with a lot of course, a lot of talent. But this talent that it's like in your face, and that they can be different, and people praise that difference, their different nationalities, that they have different styles, that they are all mixed together, and people just love it, and I think that this is why maybe they are advancing so quick, because they have a charisma, they have something, they have a fire, um a confidence that I think that maybe a lot of people, from the perspective of an audience, we want that back. We want the confident, um, you know, dancer or singer. Uh, it's just something that for me is like feminine, but it's strong. It's strong. Um, and it's not about like doing the best choreography. It's like when you bring soul to something. These girls have soul, they have charisma, they have that something that, it's been a while since I seen it in a girl group. um Maybe because, maybe Korean idols, and since we consume K-pop, we are sort of used to, this, it's like, oh, they're ethereals, they're so, it seems like they're fragile at some point, because, they're cute, or sometimes, yeah, they're sexy, but everything is like very well like taken care of. So there's like something like, yeah, look but don't touch, and it's like, it seems like they're about to break, that they are like these very fragile people, beautiful, ethereal, but always there's a sense of fragility in there. But when it comes to Cat's Eye, it seems like a very strong energy, and they remind me of a lot of, young girls. Like they look like girls of their age, their generation. It's just that they are amazing performers, and they are famous now. But I could see, people from my area doing covers of their songs, and this feeling very like very close to home, like I don't know, it feels like very close, maybe because they do have a Spanish song. So I'm like, yeah, it sounds like Latin music. mm, yes, that's the strength, to being more foreign is super refreshing compared to usual girl group. Yes. It still has that K-pop style and choreography, high level and visuals, but the girls don't feel like K-pop idols. Charismatic, strong, and sexy, not demure. And not shy, sexy. Yeah, it's like, I think that this is what I like, how straightforward they are. It's like when you hear them talk, or when you hear them like, even being, goofy, they just do it. They just are like that. And I think that is refreshing to see that. It's like, oh, and at the same time, for me, they are so different, because they are very young, and they probably have this Gen Z, kind of, style of communication, and the way they tease each other about things that, maybe I'm not, still I'm not really, used to that. I'm like, I have to learn about this, or to get their sense of humor or what they mean. I feel the same with my nieces. It feels like I'm watching my nieces, something like this. It feels very, very familiar. Except that these girls are so talented, so talented. And I think that that's also the key. That's also the key, that they have very talented people in there. And here you cannot convince me like, oh no, we had these girls, training 8 years, and this is what we came up with. No, these girls come with prior training, with prior experiences, and now you got their talent, and you're sort of, yeah, you are investing in it. But the girls are very talented on their own. They, you know, because also 17 as well. 17 as well. 17 was talented before he got acquired by other company. So let's not, be like, oh no, because this company made it. No. This company acquired it, invested in it. That is different. Yes. Yeah, you can see it in their confidence. That song, Gabriela, was so fun, and at the same time really showcased their vocals. That was quite impressive. Yeah. They have very strong vocals. Like, I was like, really, when I saw them at Coachella, like the Coachella performances, I was like, wow, like their voices are so clear, and they danced a lot. So, it's so healthy. I don't know why I want to say this. It's like, I look at them, and maybe it's about honestly, it's about their body shape and everything. I look at them and I'm like, they are so healthy. They are so, um, they are them. Um, it's a strong, it's a strong aura, but they are, it's like, I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried about them. Um, you know, I think that if they have an issue, they're going to work it out. Like they are, I don't know, maybe it's the confidence that they exude. I love it. And also, I think that probably I feel it very close. Like, I feel like I know this type of, not this type of girls, but I feel like I've seen them. Like they feel very, very, they look like people that I see every day. Beautiful people, of course, not regular people. But for example, sometimes, it does come up on my feed, this former member of theirs, Celeste, that she was the Argentinian contestant, that she didn't make it. But sometimes Celeste, sometimes she does, some, I think that she has like a TikTok account, and she does some covers, or she does some challenges. And I look at her and I'm like, I can kind of see the K-pop training in there, the K-pop idol look, but at the same time, I can still look at her and be like, "You're just a regular girl of your age," and I think that that's so cute. That's so cute that she was able to make it, in there, in that industry that is very, that is very specific, that is very strict, and I see her and I'm like, like I'm very proud of her, that she made it that far. um and yeah, she also has, an attitude, a charisma, a personality, of a girl of her age, and seeing her, talking like in Spanish, my same language, like I look at her and I'm like, yeah, I kind of see a bit of you, a bit of K-pop training, but at the same time, I'm like, I can also see maybe why she didn't make it, because I listen to her and I'm like, yeah, there's like you are very talented, but there's something that you probably are not. You are, when someone is too fresh, you are like too fresh, or you are like too spontaneous, and it's nice because I see her and I'm like, oh, she's so pretty, or she's so talented, or she's so eloquent. But not the K, I don't want to say K-pop idols because probably they are not entirely K-pop idols. They are not trained like a K-pop idol, or they are not expected to be like a K-pop idol. But there has with pop stars, or with celebrities, or with famous people, you have to have that level of like, wow, I cannot believe I'm looking at you. There's an aura. There's something different about you, that even though what you say can be really like different, and I can relate to what you're expressing, and your sense of humor, and you're so honest, and you're so cool, and you're so like, just like any other girl. But the K-pop idol has that sort of aura that is like, yeah, you never seen someone like me before. I don't exist in the real world. You can watch me go here and there, maybe take a picture of me, but the idol has a sort of energy that is like, wow, I cannot believe I'm in front of this person. And I think that for Celeste, there was this, like, there's something missing, like she's so talented and so special, but it's like, I don't think that I can see you and be like, wow, like you're so unreal, because that's, the idol has to be a bit unreal, unreachable, like a fantasy. Like a fantasy. You have to feel like, oh, if I would meet them in person, I would, yes. In France too, a lot of girls look like them. We have a lot of people of different ethnicities, so the hairstyle, the makeup, yeah, it feels familiar. It feels like you could run into them in the streets, and be like, "Are you from Katsai?" Yes, but it also has a lot to do with lighting, makeup, styling. Yes, yeah, there's a lot of money in there. A lot of money. A lot of money. They manage every single picture that comes out of them. So yes. Yeah, I agree. Although I feel like a lot of the most popular have a more available side to them. Yes, they do. They do. In their speech, it feels like they are more available. But I don't know. But I didn't watch the show, so I don't know what Celeste's process was. I don't know. How it was for her. I just know that I see her on TikTok. That's all. That's all. But she's so pretty. She's so pretty. She's so beautiful. So beautiful. Yeah. Mm. We have, even here in Argentina, we do have one or two, very popular pop stars, and they it's not like they don't look real. In my case in Argentina, we do have a very famous young, she started as an actress in a Disney, Disney Channel kind of show, like Hannah Montana, but high school vibes, another Argentinian production. But she was like a Disney. It was a Disney, yeah. It was like a Disney. Yeah, I believe it was Disney. Well, it was like a Disney production, like a Disney, sitcom. Um, and well, she grew up to be a singer, and she's like, if you see her, first of all, she's super skinny. She had always been skinny. This is the thing. Sometimes people, are like, oh, she's too skinny. When how, the audience is. But actually, she had always been skinny. You had those certain people, that they always been skinny. Um, and if you look at her in person, she looks like a Barbie doll because she's very tanned. She's very tanned. She has like a healthy glow in her skin. She probably, it wears like a very clean aesthetic look. Especially when she, goes around places. She's not wearing like a full makeup nor anything. But there's something about her style, her body, her skin that is very different from a regular woman of her age. So that's the pop the pop girl or the pop singer kind of style. It's like there's something about her that is like you cannot look like her because she has the resources to, even when she goes out, in the public, she does look different. I don't know. I know only her name, Celeste. I don't know her. Yeah, they have access to certain things. I'm sure she gets treatments, But you see her and you're like, yeah, she's so different. She's so different. She doesn't look like. There could be a lot of, girls looking like her. But yeah. Yeah, I believe she had pink hair. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm. Yeah, you even see it with idols themselves before and after. Yeah. The skin is different, the eyebrows, everything. Yes. It changes you. It changes. It's just that when you work with public, you have to have a certain. It's not about taking care. Of course, you have to take care of your image, but it's also like a body language. Um, you sort of go into character. You go into character. I remember I had when I was representing a certain brand, I would deal with, very prosperous, but very picky clients. So I would have to, always talk to them, engage with them, and show them, the products and just talk and engage with them and talk and create this sort of, connection. And I would talk and talk and I would go here and there, and all ha ha ha, smiles and everything. Um, and I remember I had this person that I believe she was a cashier or something like that. She was in the part of the payments. And she from across the room, she would see me interact with people. And I remember we were about to close and she was like, "Are you always like this?" Like, and I was like what? Like this, like energetic and so, talkative and so vibrant. Are you always like this? Because it must be tiring to be always like this. And I'm like, no, I'm not like this. I'm not like this. It's my job. It's my job. Is what is It's not that they demand of you to be like this, but it's like you have to adapt it to the traits, the personality traits that you already have. And of course, with each different client, you have different, some people like it when you talk to them a lot, some don't. Some just prefer very specific responses, and that's it. They don't want to be bothered. They are already secure what they want to buy or what they want to do, so you follow them. Um, but if I can show my personality, like in the sense of like not adding a bit of personality to the experience, because for me, I always um, told people about this, at least for my experience, being in the sales position, being a sales representative, or especially representing brands that are very expensive. For me, it's like, yeah, I will represent a company or a certain brand, but I'm also representing myself. So of course you are going to get a bit of myself in that exchange, because I work like that. I work with my knowledge. Sometimes I know things about past experiences with certain brands, or that they are my experiences. No one taught me, or knowledge. No one taught me in the company like, oh, you have to know about this. No, maybe I know it myself, and I share it with the client. I do sleep a bit of my personality. I don't get lost in the process of like, oh, I have to be obedient and I have to be submissive because the client always is right, and I have to get this. And so I don't. I think that in my case, I never felt like I had to fully wear a mask. But when it comes to energy, when you're dealing with a sort of transaction, you have to have the energy. You have to show up a certain way. And yes, it's draining to always smile and always like being like in a good mood, because the client doesn't want to see you like all sad and like worried. No, we don't want that. At least there's certain brands that they're like, we don't want that. We don't want you to just look miserable. We don't pay you for that. So I think that maybe and it's very interesting, because this person that she saw me, like, it was like one of the first times we would interact, but she was like, wow, you have so much energy, like, how do you do this? And I'm like, I just go home and I stay silent. I just get home with the lights off, and I stay silent, and I want silence. Once I go back to my house and to my place, or I feel like, my routine is over, and I think that for idols, it must be the same. Once they go back to their dorms, once they go back to the dressing room, whatever they are, and they can have a break, they also probably get all like, because it's tiring. It's tiring. It's tiring. And yeah, it if you cannot do it, then probably it's not the job for you. But you have to sustain it. You have to sustain it. Because it's not about you. It's about the experience of the client. Yes. Exactly. When I was younger, I was working in a certain field where I had to be pleasant and it slip into my daily life too, and I felt exhausting. Yes, it is exhausting. Yes, yes, yes. It's so sad, but this is why sometimes I'm like, people ask me about certain idols, and they are like, you know, um, um, how are they as partners? How are they, like boyfriend, girlfriends, potential boyfriends or girlfriends or partners? And for me, it's like, are you sure they are that nice? They are that good as of a partner? Because sometimes, I would recognize it also myself. Sometimes dealing with a lot of people and just being pleasant and nice and always available. I would go home very tired mentally, physically, and I would just like, I would bark at my partner back then. I would be, very very tired, very irritated. I would be, like, don't talk to me. Like, okay, like, oh, but we have to, make dinner. And I was like, no, I'm not in the mood. I'm tired. You figure it out. You see what you want to do. I don't want to. I'm tired. I need silence. I need to sleep. So probably I wasn't a very, um, um, pleasant partner. I would always have this long face, and it's so interesting because it's like it seems like, oh, you only show your best side to these people, to your work, but in your personal life you're always grumpy, and you're always out of energy, and you're always like so angry, and so boring, probably even. um and your partner or your family, the people that you live with, they don't, it's not their fault that you have such a demanding work. It's not your fault. But it usually happens, in this kind of dynamics where, the person has to give a lot to the public, or to a public sector, or to clients, where you show your best side to the clients, and you're always available, and you're so nice, and you're so cool. But maybe, as a partner in the intimacy, you are the opposite, because you run out of energy, because you have to find a balance between what you give out to your external life and what you give in your personal life, because these people don't have the fault, that you had a bad day, or that you had to, go through a lot, like, um yes, led to burnout. Yes. Now I try to separate the two and spend much time on my own. Learn that it's not all or nothing. Not to become the mask. Also, a big focus on looks and having to look perfect can get in the way of relationships and intimacy and spontaneity. Yeah, it feels like you gave yourself all day and then you don't have any energy for your personal life. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And also, yeah, just like you mentioned, this sort of routine that you have to be perfect, that you have to look a certain way, and you start looking like other people. Even the way you move, you start losing your authenticity. It's like once you wear a uniform, or once you do what they tell you, oh, in here we do things like this, you lose what makes you different. It's like at first probably they are like, oh, we want you because your energy and your style is so fresh, and like we want you in our team. But then eventually they want to change you into what they consider, that is what they need. um so you lose a lot. Yes, you lose a lot, especially for certain places, companies, company culture, that is more about like, yeah, at the end we don't care about you. You're just an asset. You're just someone that today you're doing great, and today we want you and we welcome you. But then, at some point, if we want someone younger, someone different, someone more beautiful, we are going to replace you. And thank you for everything, but bye. So this is why it's important for you to have other talents. It's important for you to invest in yourself. Just learn a craft or two. Learn what you want to do. Learn a hobby. Get a hobby. Connect with the energy source of the source of energy to keep being inspired, because a company they will give you the tools, they will give you, you know, the training for a specific thing that they need from you. But there's no originality in there. Also the struggle to being seen for your appearance or outer shelf versus what you are inside. Yeah, ideally you want someone to see you for who you are inside, but when the outer shell has become your identity, yes, yeah. You can feel the sort of unseen of someone focuses on you in yourself, yeah. Yeah, actually, I was talking yesterday to a friend that she's my age. She's 40, and she started working in this company like 3 months ago. You know, and she's like she was, you know, the first time she was praised. You know, she was like, oh, you know, you're great. You're really good at the job. You know, she does even extra hours. You know, and she starts to notice that, you know, the younger generations, they don't work as, you know, as maybe as passionate as we are about work, and just showing, you know, that you're really good at it and just being invested. And she was like, you know, I'm giving it my all and everything, but lately I feel like I'm not being seen. You know, lately I feel like they are blaming me for certain errors that or certain mistakes that I didn't make, that maybe it was done by someone, you know, a younger employee. But with them, it's like all like the managers, or they are all cool with the young people. You know, they're like, oh yeah, if you mess up, that's okay. You know, yeah. But for her, since she is 40, she's like a millennial. You know, we used to take things very seriously. When we mess up, you know, we really take it really hard. You know, so it's very. Is we also get a bit sad. You know, we get a bit sad, we get worried, like, oh my god, I made a mistake. And then if you see that you are being blamed for something that you didn't do, but you still carry the guilt, you know, so there's a lot of work to do in there. Of course, I told her that, you know, because it's like, you know, you cannot measure your ability just because, you know, a supervisor or someone just like points out something that you're like, you know, I didn't do that. That's someone else's mistake. I did well what I had to do, my part. But she carried the guilt. You know, she started feeling like, oh, you know, I don't feel like they're treating me okay. I don't feel seen. I don't feel value. You know, and I don't know. I just, from my experience, you know, working in companies, I think that I learned so much to, you know, to each their own. For me, it's like I can, you know, I can take responsibility for what I did. You know, and be like, okay, if I mess up, I'm going to be the first one. I'm going to raise my hand and I'm going to be like, hey, you know, I made a mistake here. Can you help me? You know, I made a mistake. I'm letting you know that it was me. You know, that, yeah, I didn't know how to do this. I did this wrong. Okay. And also asking for assistance. Like, you know, I'm new here. So you help me. You help me figure it out. I'm learning. Um, and and it's like for me, I was like, you know, you have to understand how company works. Of course, that when you enter a company, you know, your first welcome and everything seems so available and so flashy, and you're like, oh my god, this place is amazing. You know, I want to work here because everyone is so nice. And then they start showing their colors, you know, and they start showing their flaws as well. Not only in the management, that there's a lot of managers or a lot of people that are in power positions that they don't know what to do. They don't know how to provide an answer for you, a solution. they just like to point fingers at the employees, you know, especially when you are in the lower section of the pyramid. You know, they're like, oh, the new guy did it. Oh, the new girl over there made a mistake. Yeah, it was her fault. Yeah, she's a mess. Yeah, she's not qualified for this. Yeah, what a waste. So for me, I've always had this a bit of, this is because I had a lot of years being under the management of an Aries boss of mine. I've been with him 9 years, so I know what it's like to work under pressure. But he also taught me to stand up for myself, in the sense that if I have the talent, if I have the knowledge, you know, if I know what I'm doing, it's not my fault if you don't have the resources to support me, if the company is a mess, if the managers are messy, if you guys have broken machines and the system is broken and there's a lot of flaws that you haven't taken care of, you know, like if there's some issue, like you fix it. You're the company. Put money. Fix it. But I'm not taking the blame for something, you know, something that is not up to me. Okay, yeah, I got confused, but where was the confusion, you know, originated? You know, I cannot take the blame for everything. So I think that in that sense, I'm very combative with certain people. Like, if you're going to point a finger at me, or if you're going to want to accuse me even of something, get me proof that it was me, that it was my involvement, that it was me the one that messed up. If you don't have it, then yeah, don't come to me with that attitude of like, treating me different because you think that I mess up. No, I know I'm good. You always have to know that you are good. And if you're starting at a job, it's very normal that the first 6 months, you're probably going to make mistakes. And that's okay. And it's their responsibility to teach you if you don't know something. So don't take the blame on you, like, oh, I'm so stupid, I didn't know this. You're learning. You're learning. You're allowed to make mistakes. Yeah, you have to build your personality. Yes. Always first, your personality first, and then, you know, you give it to others. But first, you know, build your personality, because otherwise people are going to run you over because you don't know what you're about. You don't know the treasure that you possess. You don't know that you are like a diamond. You don't know the potential that you have. We all have potentials, you know, but if you don't know yourself, you're going to carry other people's mistakes, and you're going to be burdened like, oh my god, and you're going to get all the time small because you think that, oh, you know, because I know what it's like, or what it feels like to feel guilty and even feel a bit ashamed, like, oh my god, I made a mistake, you know, because I'm also very you know, very like I don't know how to say the word, but it's like I have a high standards for myself. You know, I'm very exigent is the word. You know, like I'm like I have high standards for myself, and I want to do great, and I want to do better. I'm very ambitious in that sense. But if you give me the tools, if you don't give me the tools to grow, I'm not growing free for you. Yeah, you have to detach, do your best, and carry the knowledge that you did, and the rest is outside of your control. No feel guilty or worry about what you can change. Yes, backing what you say with concrete evidence should be everyone's mottos in life, and not just at work, but everywhere, honestly. I had a co-worker. She was a Virgo moon. Oh my god, the level of stress and anxiety that person had. This is why sometimes I'm like, you know, Virgo, some people, they are okay. They are not even half of a Virgo moon. The Virgo moons are exhausting for me. Are exhausting. Exhausting. Especially when it's not very well, like, you know, worked. It's not, you know, it's probably the person has some complex, you know, there's something about them not having, you know, the possibility to build or to be reassured very early in life. So a small mistake they do, oh no, they are in the best mood. They're in the bad mood. It's like, no, I done it wrong. Look, I made a mistake again. Oh, look, no. And I'm like, no, well, wait for the other person to tell you something. Don't make conclusions beforehand. You know, I believe you're really good at what you do. You know, you have an excellent memory. I'm sure you didn't mess up. And if you did, it's okay. Like, oh no. She drained me. I was like, oh my God, stay away from me. Her energy was like, oh my God, like nobody wanted to be near her because she was exhausting. She would always like blame herself for everything. And I was like, and I was like, you know, I'm very surprised because she was a very young girl. So I was like, why are you so harsh on yourself? What is going on? Like, oh my God, like her energy, I was like, you know, at first I would try to calm her down, you know, and just like, you know, slow down with the anxiety. But then at the end, I would be like, it seems like you love to be in that space. I don't know if it's to get attention or what, but there was something in there going on. So I was like, no, not me. I'm busy. I'm doing something. Bye. Oh my God. No. Yes. Oh, I was like, yes. I was like, no, get away. Get away with that cloud. Get away. Like, this strong bad vibes. Like, And I was worried about her because, you know, she was so young, but she was so intelligent. So I was like, why do you worry so much? Like, stop it. Like, But I understand, you know, numbers are complex. Numbers are not for everyone. This is why, you know, I never mess with numbers. I never get positions where I have to be counting and just like checking the numbers because I get confused. I have Mercury in the 12th house. I get confused, you know. I see numbers and I freak out. I just lose. I lose, you know, like I lose it. With numbers, I can't, you know. Now you give me words, and with words I do get it very fast. But numbers, no. But I do have a huge respect for people that are amazing at numbers because I can't. I'm going to start with the reading. Sorry for the ranting. It's just that, you know, me and Fluffy, we always talk about life, experiences, and it's like this. But yeah, people are very pressured these days. I understand, you know, this is why I tell these stories, you know, so you guys, if you are going through the same, you know, that it's not just you. You know, there's people that they really, it seems like there's like a disconnection in the way they treat each other. With companies, it's always like this, but I think that, you know, maybe there's a lack of training. Maybe there's no money to pay someone, so you know there's a certain like a disorder in there, or you know, disorganization that it makes people that try really hard to be good at their job, it makes it difficult. I notice this, you know. I notice also the lack of resources. It's like you expect me to do magic and you don't provide, you know, the resources that I need in order to get my job done. Like, no, no, no. In this I'm very clear. Like, I'm here with my talent, with what I can do with my presence, but you give me the tools. I'm not going to give them to you. Like, you are a corporation, you give me the tools. Now, if I'm working on my own, yeah, okay, I will buy them myself. But if you're a big corporation and you make a lot of money, give me the good gear, the good technology, the safety that I need also. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Fluffy. Oh, is my head looks so flat in here? No, why? Maybe it's that I have a bit of. It's huge. I do comb my hair, guys, before I enter this, but I don't know, sometimes it gets funny. It gets funny. I'm going to start with Treasure new album. How it's going to go. It's been a while since I read for Treasure, so let's see. Treasure new album. Are they going on tour as well? Because I see it here. And I'm like, they are going on tour. They are going on tour. Okay. We start for Treasure. 4 of Cups. We have 10 of Cups. We have 3 of Wands in the middle. We have the 2 of Cups. And we have the Wall card. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. It says practicality. So, good for YG. They are putting the money for the guys. And I do appreciate this. I think that there's a lot of plans for future. I think that, for Treasure, it's going to be an album and more. There's going to be more, you're maybe going to see them more, or they're going to, release certain content, or they're going to travel a lot, they're going to move a lot. I think that also their success, it has to do that people have been waiting for them for a very long time, because I have the 2 of Cups in here, and I think that people are already like, where is my group, where is the other half, the groups are waiting, like, where are my group, where are they, but yeah, I think that also, the 4 of Cups and the 10 of Cups, I think that for them it's a great opportunity. This feels very emotional as well for them, because they also don't like waiting. Of course, these people are here to work, and it had been, also very challenging for their own dynamic as a group to be this stagnant, to be this. I think that they work together. There's something about them, with the 10 of Cups. There's probably them training together or spending time together. The members even, like, I don't know, traveling together, doing a lot of activities together. So I don't see them like separated. But somehow there's like also this cloudy, this very moody, sentimental and emotional kind of energy of like, I'm bored. I'm happy we have each other, and I'm happy that, there's a sense of family. So definitely, they have a great dynamic, but they also could share this somehow, this apathy of like, yeah, emotionally we are okay, there's nothing lacking in our group, but we want action. It's like, yeah, we are very well taken care of. I see that with the 10 of Cups, probably, they have a staff, or they have a group of people that take good care of the guys. So, in that sense, don't worry about them. I don't think that they are suffering or anything. It's just that they are also are very ambitious. They want to do more. They had to wait. I think that there's something about them being told, like, you guys have to wait. You have to wait for your time. It's going to come, but you have to wait. Um, but yeah, with the 3 of Wands in the middle, I think that they are ready to do this and more. There's something about them, somehow maybe there's a lot of activities, or there's a lot of, content that they already shoot, I would say, that, or besides the album. There's a lot of things that they already had been doing or working on, and they're going to release them very soon. Um, I think that yeah, the album is like I want to say like a reconciliation, but it's not like that. It feels like it's like, we are coming back to the fans. We are reconnecting with them with a very loving attitude. It feels very, could it be that the songs are very emotional? Because I do have a lot of Cups in here. So I'm like, is this a song for the fans or something like this? Because it feels very intimate. It feels very intimate. And with the World card, I think that it's like them also reassuring this bond that they have with the fans. Somehow like, yeah, guys, we're here. Like, don't desperate yourself. We are here, and we are willing to keep working for you, and to keep connecting in a very intimate way, to integrate the fans into their experience. Because I think that they had been working on things, it's just that maybe they weren't allowed to show it. It wasn't the time for them, so they had to keep it. They probably had to be like, no, yeah, we don't know, maybe we will, but we don't know. But definitely it's going to do great. I feel the energy, and I think that the cards are like, yeah, it's the album and another things, it's much more. This is why I'm like, is this a tour? Are they going to tour as well? But yeah, they cannot wait to, to show this to the fans. Their connection is really well. The dynamic of the group is very sweet. So yeah, I think that they're very happy. I'm very happy, guys. Very happy. But yeah, they cannot wait to get started. Actually, they are like, when are we going? When are we going? They are very, very excited. Very excited. Um, yeah, with the Queen of Pentacles, practicality. I think that this is the theme, um for the group, or probably, the way the group has been managed. There's something about, the people that manage the group being like, we have to be practical about this. There's, just like how YG does things. Maybe um there's like a style, there's like a way of doing things with when it comes to comebacks, albums, and releases. They are very practical about this. They are very practical. The Queen of Pentacles knows. They know. They probably know when is the right time, when is going to be more like successful, or more like, there's a lot of how can I say this? There's a lot of like practical moves, and also studies. They study the market a lot, so they know. They are like, yeah, if we have to wait, we will wait. You guys, it's not that we don't want to give you more work, or more content, or more albums. It's just that we have a system, and the system is that you have to be patient. We have to keep people waiting for us. But yeah, the Queen of Pentacles, practicality. I think that there's something about, they have a strategy. We know it, the strategy of keeping people waiting, I guess. But yeah, the Queen of Pentacles is also someone that is very resourceful. Is the person that probably they don't show you how much they have. They don't show you that they're rich. But once they bring it out, you see it. You see that they really had been holding keeping, saving all these talent or all these processes for themselves. And when they release it, they are like, here, this is for you. And it's perfect. So, this is how they work. They have to be, this whole thing that Treasure is going to do is very well established, is very well like arranged, and it's about moderation as well. Like, we don't want to saturate people with content because we don't work like that. So yeah. Thank you. Yes, I see them like reuniting. Like I said reconciliation, but it was like reuniting with the fans. It's like reuniting with the fans. Hey Yashoda. Okay, I'm going to continue with NCT Jungwoo solo debut. Why? I was hoping for more, uplifting and cheering kind of energy for Jungwoo, because we're talking about Jungwoo, and Jungwoo is like this happy vibe. But I'm like, what is going on here? We start with the Ace of Swords. We have the Tower. We have the Four of Swords in the middle. We have the Six of Swords, and we have the Judgment. Is Jungwoo enlisting soon? We have the Empress. Receive. Thank God. Thank God. We have the Empress that is sort of saving the reading, because what is going on with this Jungwoo release? Are they sure that they're releasing this? First of all, I think that if they release the news, maybe they didn't release it from a place of... I wonder why they did it, why they announced it. With the Ace of Swords and the Tower, it's giving me like you're covering something, or there's something that is falling apart, or something that is breaking, or there's drama. Well, it's the same, so we can expect differently. But there's something moving, there's something moving around SM or around something. We have the Ace of Swords, and somehow, them, releasing the news is like, oh, here, we have this for you. I mean, with the Four of Swords, honestly, I think that this is not about Jungwoo. This is why I don't feel Jungwoo's energy. I think that this is to calm certain people. I don't know what is going on, but it feels chaotic. It feels like, I don't think that there's no cards that indicate like there's something hiding, but probably there's like an abrupt change, or something is going on that they have to change their strategies. So they were very like impulsive about this. I think that for Jungwoo, there's this place of like maybe him being a bit like disconnected from this and being like, yeah, I will do this, I guess. But somehow him also being like the less to know, like, this was announced and he didn't even know exactly, or maybe he knew but he didn't know when it was going to happen. So it feels everything very, very from impulsively. Like this wasn't planned at all, at all. And somehow with the Four of Swords, there's something about, somehow, Jungwoo being like, okay, yeah, I will do it. I will do it. If I have to do it, I will do it. It's my work. It's what I do. And this is not the first time. Sometimes when I read I remember when I read for a couple of years ago when I read for Jaehyun solo, the release of his solo as well. He was also working as an actor, and I don't know, he was working with NCT 127 as well, with NCT, in that era of the baggy jeans era. Everything was so confusing. Like the guy had a lot of things to do, and also like in solo. And it seemed like he also was a bit disconnected. Like, oh, you're letting me know that I have a solo to work on. Like, okay, I will see what I can do. In the case of Jungwoo, it's pretty much the same. There's not like an emotional reaction. There's not like excitement even. It's like, okay, yeah, this is what I will do. I mean, there's not like lack of confidence, not at all. It's just that maybe it's not supposed to be like this, Like I think that there's like something's going on. I don't know. Could it be that there's supposed to be like a comeback of other group or other artists, and they somehow push Jungkook's name into it? Like it was supposed to be the name of someone else, and they put Jungkook in there. They change it, and they're like, "Look, here's Jungkook," and he's like, "What? When?" We have the Six of Swords, and we have the Judgment. So, I mean, I think that the audience is going to judge it. Literally, I think that the audience is going to be like, yeah, good job, this is great. I can sort of see him also traveling to maybe record certain scenes, or to record the MV, in another city, in another country. It feels like, creatively, yeah, he will have to move. He will have to change. He has to change his style, not to look like, a typical NCT style, or NCT, like what he would do with NCT is very different. It's very different, the style. Probably very emotional, watery. A lot of water where he's going. But with the Judgment, I think that people will be like, yeah, it's not what we wanted. So I wonder, does people want someone else, or like? But it feels empty. It feels like it's lacking fire. It doesn't have fire, and Jungwoo is a very passionate member. Accordingly to me, that I had been reading for him, and I had been laughing with every Jungwoo reading that I've done so far in this channel, I don't feel it here. I feel it like the lack of motivation is like, what have you done to Jungwoo's spirit for him to be like this? But he's going to advance. I mean, this is why I'm like, is he enlisting very soon? Not soon now. At the end of the year? November? December? He's going somewhere. But yeah, with the Empress, I think that somehow if he doesn't list at some point, this is like, the nice thing is that for the people that support Jungwoo, or, him and other NCT members, for the fans is going to be like a gift. This is a gift for my fans. This is what I'm giving to my fans. I'm trying to work to give them this, and I think that there's something with the Empress that, maybe For me, it feels very cold. It feels very dry. I don't know if it's the concept, I don't know if it's the song, I don't know if it's the style, but it feels very like it's not Jungwoo. It's not Jungwoo style. It's very detached. It's like it's going to be perfect. It's going to be, but there's soul missing. It's not about Jungwoo telling his own story. It's more like, oh, we have a song where we're giving it to you. And he's going to nail it, and he's going to, be with his beautiful voice and everything. Is going to be amazing. But it's not about Jungwoo telling his story. But at the same time, with the Empress, I think that the experience the fans are going to support it anyways, because with the Empress, there's something about Jungwoo. Not for everyone, but if you are a fan of him, or if you have been appreciating his energy or what he does for the group, because he does give a lot to the group, he's going to receive his roses. He's going to receive his compliments. The fans are going to, somehow support this project, support him, also praise him, letting him know that he has done well, that he has done amazing, that he's a very talented person, just like the Empress is like a very multi-talented person. He has different skills, he's very adaptable. This is why I'm like, I don't see flexibility in here. So I'm like, this is not very Jungwoo style. But I think that he will still, be seen as someone beautiful, talented, with a lot of potential. I think that this is the people, at the end, be like, here, Jungwoo, you've done a good job. Or even the members being like, Jungwoo has been very professional, he has been amazing, to somehow, take it away a bit from this very harsh energy that is the judgment, and being like, he deserves to get more recognition. He deserves to get more recognition because he's the Empress. It's just that sometimes he doesn't feel it because the recognition doesn't come to him. It's like probably people that know Jungwoo, or the other members even, they all see the gifts, the talent, the abundance, the growth in Jungwoo. They all see it. But there's others that don't. There's others that they are like, oh no, we don't like it. Yeah, it was perfect, but we don't like it. So somehow I see that maybe for his fans, or maybe for his people, for his members, they're going to praise him a lot, and yeah, he's going to do great. What about Haechan? Wasn't he supposed to release his solo too? Yeah, he is in there. He is in there. I wonder if they're going to sort of like, to be like around the same time, and it's going to take away, the possibility for Jungwoo to shine more. But yeah, definitely Haechan is going to be amazing, because Haechan is Haechan. Haechan is Haechan. If you see every NCT, not every NCT, but if you've seen the reading that I did for him in Gemini season, Haechan has all the doors open. He manages SM. He manages SM. People have to be very grateful to Haechan and to Mark. But Mark is like, yeah, he's so valuable because he brings the energy and he knows how to execute. But I think that with Haechan is different, because Haechan delivers ideas. Haechan is so intelligent. So he's like, you sort of are saving the money of other, I don't know, creative directors, because you have Haechan. Haechan is like the head of ideas, of different perspectives. He's like the one that has that vision that you're like, if it wasn't up to him, we wouldn't have seen it. He's so intelligent. And also he has the confidence to be like, I have something to say. This is my idea. So he's a king. I think that he runs SM, definitely. He runs SM. He's very knowledgeable, a very knowledgeable guy. So they do have to thank Hechan for a lot of things. And Mark too, yes. Yes, Hechan is the sun. Hechan is the sun. He deserved this solo. Remember how wasn't it a year ago when I was like, they're going to give him his solo, and then last year it didn't happen. But we are praying for this year, yes. But I was like, he has it. It's just that there's something that I'm feeling that maybe this is why it's sort of is lacking the excitement in this period for this artist, not just for NCT members, for a lot of artists in SM. That because they're overlapping a lot of activities and they are throwing solos, it seems like it's like a lottery. You get a solo, you get a solo, you get a solo. Like it doesn't seem like well arranged. It seems like everyone is getting a solo, and sometimes maybe for the audience it's like, really, like we didn't even have time to digest this that you already given us of this member, and you want to take another one. It's saturation. It's saturation, and I think that this it sort of removes the value of the experience for certain people. They're like, oh, another solo? When you have other groups that you didn't pay attention in years, like, something like this. It feels like this. It feels like maybe, for people that have been following SM artists, there's like, yeah, I'm thankful, but at the same time, I'm a bit repelled by all of this. It's like a lot. People are a bit like when you eat something and it sort of makes you feel like, oh, like you are so full and you're like, oh, I cannot enjoy anything after this because I feel so full already. I don't know why they're doing this, but yeah, it's sort of ruining the experience, the spontaneity of. In the case of Hechan, it was more like we had been waiting for Hechan solo, but yeah, they must have their reasons. We will find out eventually if they have their reasons. Okay, I'm going to continue with this actor, with Lee Joon Gi. With the actor Lee Joon Gi. See. He's working on something. He's also working on his family as well. Yeah, he's working on something. It's going to come very soon. But yeah, we start with the Magician. We have the Three of Swords. We have the Eight of Pentacles. We have the 10 of Pentacles, a lot of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles. And we have the Knight of Pentacles that says efficiency. Efficiency. So very practical, the readings so far. Very practical. Like, some readings have come out with a lot of pentacles. But yeah, I think that definitely here, starting with these cards, it shows that there had been a certain sorrow, or there's something about his image. I don't want to say like it was ruined, his image, because he's still the magician. So there's something about him having the control, or him having the intelligence to somehow, maybe work through this deception. There's something, I don't know if he's disappointed people or people are disappointed in him. Maybe even fans are like, oh, we didn't know you were like this. But at the end, with the magician, there's something about him being like, yeah, but you will have to get over this because I have to go back to work. So yeah, the sad days are going to have to disappear. I'm also disappointed, he is a perfectionist, but I think that, there's something about him being like, I'm sorry for certain things, but at the same time, I'm not sorry. It's like somehow him being like, I'm not responsible for how you guys feel about me or my life decision. I think that the free of source, there's something about people somehow maybe projecting something on his image that he's like, I'm just an actor. This is what I provide for you guys or for the society or for my work field. I am an actor. I'm not perfect. I never said I was perfect. But I'm owning up to the decisions in my life. There's something very mature about him, very serious. His energy feels very serious. His energy, yeah, Lee Joon Gi. Lee Joon Gi. Yeah, Lee Joon Gi. I don't know who he is. Lee Joon Gi. Because the person was like, it's been a while since we've seen him. So I don't know what happened in the past, but somehow he's like very, he's like, yeah, he probably also went through, I don't think a breakup, but something happened. I don't know if people were criticizing him or there's a bit of disappointment of maybe the industry as well. There's a bit of like, but he managed, with the magician, there's something about him sort of evading certain bad news or bad vibes or just maybe people being sad for him. Like he's like, was he associated in a rumor with someone? Because he's like, evading this, like, you guys were wrong. Like actually, like there's nothing going on with me. There's nothing going on with me. I'm okay. Like he's taking charge. There's something about him like, yeah, whatever is going on in my life, I manage it. So if you guys are disappointed in me, it's up to you. I'm doing okay. he's like throwing the ball. He's like, you guys project a lot on me. I don't know, maybe people are like, we seen him that he is so sad and he doesn't get the roles and we are worried and we feel sad for him because he doesn't look the same. And he's like, what are you talking about? Ah, yes. But he's like, what are you talking about? He's so informal. I wonder if you guys are fan of him, if you ever seen him talking to his fans or the audience in general. He's very informal. He's like talking to you one-on-one. He's like, you are wrong about me. I'm an actor. I act. Yes, yeah. He's so funny. He's so funny. But yeah, there's a bit of attitude coming from him. He's a bit cocky. He's like, if you expected me to apologize, you're so wrong. Keep waiting. But yeah, the Eight of Pentacles. He's working on something. Maybe, yeah, a lot of things. Maybe he's working on a lot of things. We have the Ten of Pentacles and we have the Queen of Pentacles. So probably there could be a drama on the way. There could be a drama on the way with someone very important. I don't think it's IU again, but it kind of looks like IU. Maybe it could be an actress that is like maybe equally or near IU's energy or IU's popularity. It could be someone that is like from like, I don't know, I don't want to say like from IU's school or something like this. It seems like both of them are very powerful in that sense. A lot of money, a lot of money, a lot of money. But he's working on this. He's working on this. I think that it's already done, but maybe they're waiting for this to release because it's expensive. There's a lot of money. Also, this woman, you don't hire this woman for pennies. You don't hire this woman for pennies. This woman has experience. She's very expensive. Very expensive. Very expensive. Very serious also. Serious, well established, very professional, very, like she's very intelligent. She's very calm. There's something about her energy being confident and calm. She doesn't say much. She's like, okay, call me when you have it ready. I will show up. Something like this, But yeah, with the card of efficiency, the Knight of Pentacles, I think that he's working. He's working on a lot of things. It's just that, maybe for him, it's important to be efficient. Like I said, when I read for certain actors, it seems like the drama industry is not doing very well. There's something about some projects, yeah, they are launched, or maybe people are excited initially, but then they turn out to be a bit like a failure, like not a failure, but I think that it feels like it's more of the same. It doesn't bring anything new. And I think that there's something about, this actor, about Lee Joon Gi, him being like, give me something good. Give me a challenge. I want to be challenged. I want to work really hard, invest even, put my money even. But it has to be something good. It has to be well thought, well planned. Don't give me a BS, don't give me a lame character, please. I don't want it. I don't want it. But he's very hardworking. He's very serious about it. Yeah, so wait. Yeah, people are curious about him. There's something about him being like, I'm always working. Is he building his own house, or is he, I think that he works with the hands very much. But there's a lot of money. He's building something. So, yeah, maybe it doesn't show, but he's a very active person. He's a very productive person, It's just that he's picky about the roles. Very picky. Okay, I'm going to continue with this new big hit boy group, Cortis. Let's see how they go. New big hit boy group, Cortis. A lot of women energy. Do they have like a woman's CEO, a woman's manager? A woman is behind this. A woman is behind this. It's still on the making, I would say. They are still like adjusting, but money there is definitely. Okay, for Cortis, we start with the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Five of Pentacles. We have the Two of Pentacles. See, today I told you that we're having a lot of Pentacles. All very practical today. The Empress. And we have the Two of Wands. Today is a day of practicality. And the Four of Cups, that is says contemplation. Yeah, there's a woman behind them. There's a woman. But this woman is not confident about them. It's like, yeah, she has experience. She probably knows a lot about, managing groups and everything. She's very intelligent also. Maybe she's also someone very, like, she had, very good results in the past. This is a good leader. But with the Five of Pentacles, I think that there's something about her being like, I don't have enough. I feel like I don't have what it takes to push this to the next level. She somehow feels, even though she's a Queen of Pentacles, which I'm amazed because, a Queen of Pentacles is someone that they know what they're doing. They have a lot of experience, but maybe, when this started, they didn't give her much to work with. With the Five of Pentacles, it's like, you're giving me this group or you're giving me this to work with, but I don't have the resources. Or it's not enough. I don't feel confident about this. Like, you expect me to work with this. Maybe they're like trying to save money and being like, initially, they're trying to save money and being like, yeah, we will not invest that much. You use the resources that you had with the other groups. It feels like this, like we will not give you something new. It's more like, you manage them with what you already have. Don't invest anymore. Like, don't touch money. Somehow is this. So she's like, I'm not used to work like that, because when the Queen of Pentacles is someone that is very used to have the resources. When she asks, she has it. She's used to work with value, with resources, with she has the liberty also. She has the freedom to be like, okay, I will put money here, I will make this better, I will make this more shiny, but somehow she's lacking resources and she's not feeling that confident about this. Probably feeling a bit pressured that, okay, why did you give me this? If you want me to start like this, you want me to do magic with this? She has a strong temper as well, like very, like the Queen of Pentacles, very stubborn. But I think that, yeah, because what they're asking of her to do, she's been asked to do magic with nothing with this group. Initially. This is not like it will always be like this. So probably they want to save themselves a few pennies. They want to save themselves a few pennies initially. So they're like, yeah, don't put that. Don't take money from here or don't buy this. Let's just use what we have already. Or do like we did with the other group, where we didn't spend that much money. They're being cheap. Initially, I say. The Two of Pentacles, yeah, it's like they're just starting, guys. Like with this group, I don't know if they debuted, if they're going to debut. It's still not, grounded. It's still not, not stable. It's still on the making. It's still on the making. They are also reviewing, like, okay, what do we give them? What do we do? Also, probably the guys, also the members, they don't even know, okay, what do we do? They are waiting for instructions. It feels very new. It feels like this is the beginning, very unstable, very like open to a sudden change. But yeah, it's not, it's not like that well done. But yeah, in the future we have the Empress and the Two of Wands. So I think that honestly they're waiting for the fans to activate this. They're waiting for the fans' money. I know they haven't debuted, so where is the money? Where is, if there's no, like, where is the, but they're waiting for the fans. They're waiting for the fans to put the money. And then they will advance. Then they will be like, oh, now we will create a better MV. And we will give you more content. And we will get the guys overseas. But first, you know, I wonder if also they are like somehow trying to expose the guys, so physically you can choose your type. You know, there's something with the Empress, like, you know, I'm showing you how beautiful they are, you know, like, oh, did you check that guy? You know, that guy is so beautiful. Did you check them? You know, he's so talented, or I know him. Maybe there's a member of another group, I don't know, or a former trainee that you're like, I know that guy. I don't see someone standing out, like, oh, you know, there's an important member that is going to be like, you know, no, but I think that they are relying a lot on like appeal, I would say, you know, probably like taking the guys to certain events so you can check them out, so you can watch them, so you can see them. Maybe them also, like, you know, maybe could it be that they have live streams, or that they have communications with, you know, with potential fans. But there's already a group of feminine energy already putting the money for them. I see it. I see it. And this is what they're waiting for. They're waiting for the initial investment. They're like, okay, like, could it be that? This is going to be a very visual group. Very visual, very, like, all of them pretty, all of them Venusian, all of them sexy. Very visual. Very visual. Talented, but also visual. Mostly very visual. Visual people. Beautiful people, tall people, perfect people. Very pleasant in the way they talk, you know, the way they look at you. Everything is so dreamy. Like, yeah, it has potential. But yeah, we have the Four of Cups, you know, that it says contemplation. So I think that, yeah, initially the fans, the audience, people are going to be contemplating them. Be like, okay, is this what you got? Okay, you know. So the fans will not be, I don't want to see the fans, probably the audience. Why do I see older women putting money in them? But the people will be contemplating them and be like, okay, but where is the music? Like, where is the material? Where is it? Yeah. They are playing with that. But probably people are already hunting them down because there's money already put onto them. And this is coming from people. But yeah, maybe, you know, the visual aspect is going to be very important. Yes. Pretty faces, definitely. Pretty faces and talented, yes. But, you know, a visual group. Like models. Could it be that one of them is a model? Okay. I'm going to continue with IVE's comeback. Let's see. What is going on with IVE? Oh my god. Okay, for IVE's, sorry for the barking, guys, of the dogs. With IVE, we have the Five of Swords, we have the Queen of Swords, we have the Ace of Swords, we have the Sun, and we have the King of Pentacles. Sorry. And then we have the Nine of Swords, Anxiety. So why are people so anxious about this group? Because I think I see people talking and people be like, oh no, we are against this. Or maybe they're talking about certain member. They're on the defensive about a certain member. Somehow, you know, with the Ace of Swords, there's like an opening of communications, or if there's like some, you know, accusation or something like this, I could see a member here with the Knight of Swords sort of putting in a statement and maybe, you know, calming people down and be like, you know, guys, it's not like you think. But yeah, the Ace of Swords in the middle is giving me like a very straightforward communication, because I feel a lot of anxiety around this group. What is going on with people in this group? Because it's not so much about the girls and their ability and if they can shine or not, because actually, you know, at the end we have the Sun and we have the King of Pentacles. So what it is, their work, you know, their comeback is going to do amazing. It's going to be amazing, like always. You know, it's going to be spectacular. It's going to be very positive. It's going to be, you know, I think that, you know, at the end we have the King of Pentacles. So there's something about, I don't know if this is like a CEO, a manager, someone that is investing in the girls, is investing in them. But also maybe, you know, they're changing certain tactics to make the girls feel more comfortable, because with the Sun card there's also a lot of exposure, so maybe people are paying attention very closely to certain details and they are like, you know, we don't want the girls to do certain things, or we want you to take more care of them. So I wanted to say of her because I see a Queen of Swords. So I'm wondering if this is like someone is worried for a single member. But I think that, you know, there's going to come a bit of clarity about this issue, you know, so people can calm down a bit, because this sort of ruined the mood. It's ruined the mood of, you know, this comeback. Like somehow people just being, you know, talking very negatively about like, okay, what is going on with the girls? What is going on with, you know, people freaking out, literally, people freaking out, and, you know, with anxiety, starting to see things that maybe they are not there. So I wonder what is going on with people feeling so anxious about this group, you know, because this is not normal. This is not normal that people, maybe I think that it has to do with a certain dissatisfaction. People are not satisfied with the management of the group, maybe. So, you know, even though they're having their comeback, you know, people are like, you know, we don't forget what you did or what you didn't do. So yeah, I think that the audience is demanding more clarity, is demanding, like, you know, maybe a better treatment. They are asking for the girls to be more taken care of, you know, something like this. But in, you know, I think that they're going to do amazing with the Sun and the King of I think that there's going to be an improvement, you know, an improvement in the managing of the group, where you can see that the girls are going to feel more happy, you know, are going to feel more like positive, and everything is going to be very pleasant for them. Because also with the Sun, you know, there's this level of, maybe people are like, you know, IVE is a group that gets a lot of exposure, or maybe people do watch IVE's presence or performances very closely, very closely. So somehow they're able to tell, like, if there's something wrong, or if there's something that is low quality, or if there's something that is not correct about the group's dynamic. So people are like, you do better with them. Take care of them because they are special. So take care of them, give them the spotlight, treat them like the kings, the queens that they are, so please. Maybe it's because, maybe the group has been, you know, since they debuted, now they are, an older group. So somehow they had been in the industry for a lot of years. So people maybe are demanding like an upgrade, give them better treatment, give them better possibilities, allow them to shine. Like, please, like, don't do this. But also, it could be that this CEOs is very cheap. There's something about, because I don't see money specifically. Like, I see a lot of like conversations. I think that I see a lot of statements. Could it be like some law battles, like some arguments, some everything feels very cold, but people want the truth, and people are anxious. There's something about this group or the group's future that maybe people are like, don't do that, because you're spoiling the future of the girls, or you're spoiling their future promotion, so you better fix this. And they demand to know the truth as well. There's something about the audience being like, you better give us a clarification about this, we want to know. So yeah, it feels very powerful, but it's going to do well. It's going to be bright, very positive. So yeah, don't worry. Yeah. Just looking at the combo, seems like you said people being anxious about numbers for nothing when they are doing pretty well. Yeah, there is a very anxious kind of audience, because the girls, I see them that they're okay. They're okay. It's just that there's a lot of argument around them. It seems like there's a lot of talking. Like, we don't like this. Like, but they are powerful. Somehow they are being listened to. So maybe they are communicating in the right way, or they are communicating to the higher ups. The message is reaching. So yeah, I think that some things are going to change for the better. Okay guys, I'm going to change the mic. Because I don't want it to run off battery. Okay, I'm going to continue with Twice Chaeyoung solo debut in September. Twice Chaeyoung solo debut in September. People are curious about how she's going to do this. People are curious. I don't see judgment, but I do. I mean, I don't see judgment. I say I don't see judgment, and the judgment card is in here. I think that it's not about her. Probably it's about her associations. We have the magician. We have the judgment. We have the 9 of cups in the middle. We have the death card, and we have the 3 of pentacles. And then we have, the page of swords. It says curiosity. Could it be that this is like a rock kind of sound? Why do I feel like it's rock? I don't know, very like metal, kind of very harsh kind of style, very rock star, something. I think that whatever she's doing, she's very satisfied. She's going to be very satisfied with the outcome. It's what she wants to do. This is literally Twice Chaeyoung's solo is definitely is her solo. You know, it's not about like following the steps of Twice or the lines of Twice. It's more about her own style, her own what she wants to show. And I think that, you know, she's like, I don't care what people think. If you are going to be if you're going to be like, oh, this is great or this is not. She's doing this for herself. And I think that she's like, I'm satisfied with how this is going, and I'm going to be satisfied about the result at the end. So the ones that get it, they do get it. But yeah, yeah, it's very different. It's not like something that you've seen before. So be prepared. But yeah, with the magician and the judgment. See, I said I don't see judgment, but the judgment card is here. But nevertheless, you know, with the magician, I think that she's in the place in her career, in her life, where she doesn't care about the judgment coming her way. She is actually, with the magician, she's like, you know, I'm also taking this as inspiration. All the judgment that you put on me, I'm taking this maybe to write lyrics about this, or to put it like the title of the song or the concept of the song. You know, it feels like she is very well guided. She's feeling very creative. Is there a man involved in this creation? Because probably, you know, with the kind of the judgment, it could be literally, you know, people being like, you know, judging her because there's someone else involved, and then be like, oh, you know, it's not your ideas, it's not, you're not original, it's the idea of someone else. This is not you. And I think that this is, you know, the thing. There's something about people not wanting to recognize who she is. You know, I think that there's like a big misunderstanding in here. They somehow maybe want Chaeyoung to be a certain way. They want her to stay in that way and not change. And she's going towards the change. She's changing. She's like transmuting herself into a new shape, into a new artist, a new woman. So she's like, she's so satisfied about what she's creating. So it doesn't matter, you know. I think that she does this more for herself and to prove herself more than to please others. She's like, you know, I done amazing, I'm proud. So for her, this is like, you know, very personal. This is a great experience. She's very satisfied with the result, with what she's creating. She's like, this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. You know, and for her, this is very important. Maybe this is like the first time in years that she can say, I'm satisfied. This is what I wanted. So yeah, but yeah, with the Death card and the Three of Pentacles, I think that there could be, yeah, like people, I think that people are like, oh, but you didn't do it like the others, or you forgot about Twice, or you forgot about, you know, how the group supported you, and now you decided to do things differently, so you don't think about the group. You know, you are being egotistic, or you are being selfish. You know, it's weird. It's weird. It's weird how people would receive it. It's weird. It's weird. They don't like it. They don't like it. They see it like a threat to the group. Like you are not being part of the group. Or I wonder if she will have to accommodate her schedule and she will not be in certain groups' activities. So they are also like, oh, this is like the end. I don't know. People want her out of the group. I see with the Death card and the Three of Pentacles, people already assuming like, oh yeah, you know, now she's not going to come back, or now she's going to be out of the group. And now, you know, I think that there's people that want to get rid of her. They are like, you know, we don't want her in the group. It's not the group, the audience, I mean. So, but, you know, it's not that she's, you know, affecting the group. Is a transformation that it talks more about her, you know, individual development as an artist. And there's a lot of work in here. You know, she's really putting a lot of creativity in here. So but there's this misconception already, or there's this preconception that is going to be dark, or that is going to be negative, or that is going to be people don't want her to be controversial, and I don't know what it means, but yeah. Yeah, Page of Swords, curiosity. I think that they're going to criticize her, but they're going to listen and watch what she does anyways. So it's so interesting because probably, there's going to be a bit of talk and people, I don't like this, but they're going to watch anyway. So she's going to, at the end, she's going to get, the audience hooked around what she does. So this is why the satisfaction comes from here, because at the end, you keep talking about me, but you keep also investing energy and time on me. So thank you. So yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny. Okay, I'm going to continue with TVXQ, Juno, and Changmin dynamic. Let's see. Changmin, Juno. Okay, about TVXQ, Juno and Changmin, dynamic. We have, from Changmin's perspective, we have the King of Cups, and we have the Five of Swords. And from Juno's perspective, we have the Two of Cups, and we have the Four of Wands. Very interesting. their perception of each other is very opposite. But yeah, we have the Five of Wands in the middle. It says competition. So maybe they are in this process where they are competing with each other. Maybe their work is overlapping, or there's something about one being mentioned and the other one is not. From Changmin, I think that he holds a bit of resentment. I don't know why. From Changmin's perspective, we have the King of Cups, and we have the Five of Swords. So he's a very sensitive person. First of all, he is sensitive. He's more on his feelings, and there's something about him being like, like, not like you betrayed me, but I thought I told you that, he's a bit upset at something. Maybe there's, he didn't get the opportunity, or there's a push and pull, and he feels very frustrated. And he said it. He said it to Juno, definitely. Like, I think that there's like a bit of anger, a bit like, oh, you always do this. I think that this is not, of course, they had been, friends and co-workers for a very long time. So somehow, he's a very mature person. He's emotional. He knows this. But at the same time, he's like, you always do this. You always do this. Like, I'm tired of you. Like, like you always do this. Like he felt it, not like a betrayal, but I think that it's like, you always do things like this. There's a certain way of Juno's maybe, decision making, or what he does for himself, because, we're talking about competition. So definitely there's a bit of differences about how each of them approach new projects. It seems like, maybe, from Changmin's perspective, he's much more, empathic. He's much more like understanding, and he thinks about the other part. he's like contemplates, you know, like, okay, is this good for you? Does it sound good for you? You know, I'm thinking about doing this. Is this okay with you? You know, he's looking for um an understanding, you know, but somehow but I think that also there could be a bit of jealousy, honestly, because with the Five of Swords, it's like, oh, I heard they're giving you this. Why they don't give me the same that they give you? If I'm always so nice. You know, there's something about you know, Changmin being the good guy, but he never gets the opportunities. This is why he's a bit angry. He's a bit like, you know, I'm always the nice guy, but I never get the opportunities. So probably it's not personal, but it seems like this is the vibe. Um, in the case of Juno, he really loves Changmin. You know, we have the Two of Cups and we have the Four of Wands. So for him, it's even funny. I don't know why I want to laugh, but from Juno's perspective, it's like, you always do this. You always complain. You know, you're always like mentioning, like, oh, they didn't give me this, or they didn't say that to me, or they didn't value me, you know. And I think that there's a part of Juno that he's like, this is so cute, like, I get you, you know. With the Two of Cups, there's like a reciprocity, there's like a relationship, you know, there's like a friendship, there's like a mutual understanding of each other's nature, you know. In this sense, Juno is not being selfish, you know. He's looking at Changmin and being like, yeah, I know, I understand your frustration, or I understand that you are not, you know, that you don't feel validated, or that you don't like this, but you know, I have to go and shine. You know, the Four of Wands is someone that probably there's something about Juno's energy, that could it be that he's more social, or when it comes to, you know, maybe having certain collaborations with people, or being seen with, you know, fancy people, famous people. He goes out a lot, you know, socially. He goes out a lot, you know. He has his friends in the industry, you know. They have fun, they have a lot of fun with Juno, you know. There's like a lot of a very fun energy, and he probably hangs out with the most creative people in the room, you know, with most famous people. He really has fun with his career, you know. He I believe that he works, he creates, you know, like business negotiations, but also he has fun. He's invited to the best parties, and everything feels fancy and fun. And probably, you know, for someone like Changmin, he's like, you know, I don't get to do all those things, no one invites me. But yeah, maybe because he's a married man. I this is why, you know, when I see the King of Cups, I see like a family man. You know, like someone that yeah, he has to stay, you know. He probably prefers it that way, but I think that maybe, you know, in associations, yeah, Juno gets probably more opportunities, or the opportunities that are more fun and outgoing and passionate ones, because he knows people, and he invests in these connections. He shows up to events, you know. He gets along also very well. People from the industry, they really respect him a lot. He's very pleasant, he's very professional, he has like a great like aura. He's welcomed everywhere. So yeah, this is what he had been building, you know. So yeah, but yeah, there's competition, definitely. Yeah, there at least right now, or in 2025, there could be a sense of, you, if you are fans of them, and you could observe a bit of, you know, I don't want to say like they openly, like they are going to compete, but maybe there's something about their schedule being a bit like, wow, you just said release this of this person, and now you're talking about the other one, like, yeah. But there could be, you know, a work in the process of them together. It's just that right now everything is like opposites, like, oh, you do this, but then I have to go here, like a lot of competition. Yeah. He's in the new drama. I seen it had appeared on my TV, the low life one, and I didn't watch it because I was like, is this another one of these people that are scammers? Because they often do the same one and I get bored of the same plot. But if Juno is in it, I'm watching. I didn't know. I didn't know. Okay guys, I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to do this reading for us to get to know the wishes, NCT Wish members. I'm going to pull one card for each. Then probably I'm going to upload it to the channel as a video. But yeah, this is going to be very brief for us to get to know their personalities a bit. So yeah, I'm going to do this. Okay. Okay, I'm going to start with, I'm going to pull the cards. I believe they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 members. I believe there are 6 members. I'm going to pull one personality card for each, and then I'm going to pull one from the tarot. So yeah, let's see their energies. I'm going to start with one for Rio, one for Sion, one for Riku, one for Jaehee, one for Yushi, oh, and the last one for Sakuya. Okay, let's see for NCT Wish. Let's get to know them. Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay. I'm going to start with Rio. For Rio, we have the card of the archetype card. We have the archetype of the rebel. And we have the card of justice that says balance. So definitely for I believe for Rio, you know, probably he's like the rebel of the group. I don't know much about him, but it feels like he's someone that yeah, he goes with the group, he goes with the flow of the group, but sometimes he also does his own thing. You know, there's something about him just needing space and time to express himself. You know, he probably also I don't want to say like he doesn't follow orders or guidelines. I think that he just has a very different energy, different way of doing things, and he's like very much like, I feel like his energy runs away from me. Like he's very energetic, or he tends to go around here and there, and he can confuse you a bit. But I think that he's someone that he's like very open to new experiences. There's something about him, not wanting to be stuck in a certain system. I think that there's something about his creative process being a bit of a no soul, a wise soul, and he doesn't believe in structures. There's something about him. Also, he could be very social. There's something about him having the potential. I feel Libra energy. I don't know why. Libra, Aquarius. Um, but he's very friendly. He's very friendly. I think that the more you give him time, the more he's going to open up and maybe build certain connections or relationships outside of his group. There's something about Rio being this very open to new experiences, and he probably, I think that there's something about this group potentially, being told or being, guided to like, okay, you guys have to stay together, or you guys have to be seen being together and doing this, and you do not separate, or you do this, but you do this together. And I think that he's like up for this. He's like, yeah, but at some point he gets bored and he's very curious. So he's like, I want to go and see what the other members are doing, what other groups are doing, because I'm so curious. And he's like a bit of he believes that in order for him to bring balance to the group, he has to go and reach out to other people. Or maybe he's much more eager than the rest to go and talk to others. He's like, I want to talk to that member of the other group. I don't know much about him, but I think that he's very cool. Somehow getting out of this you know I don't know if the others are more structured, or they are more like, they're more shy. There's something about them being like, no, you go, I will stay here. I don't want to cause a mess. I don't want to talk. There's people that are like, I don't want to talk. And he's like, but you have to be curious about them, like, and probably he's the one that he will go around the SM building and be like, I want to see what is in here. But he's so curious, and he's a rebel. He will rebel. If he has a certain specific role in the group, you are going to see him outgrow that. He's not going to stay in that energy. He's going to change. Rio is going to change. But at the same time, he brings balance to the group. I think that there's something just very he's someone that he doesn't forget about his group. He's not like someone that will go to talk to others and will forget that he's part of NCT Wish. No, he will go back to the group. It's just that there's a need in him that he's like, I need to be social. I need to reach out to others. I need to do network. I don't know. I need to go. I cannot, it feels like he's like, tackling his feet. He's like very like, like his eyes get all like sparkly. He gets very motivated when it comes to building relationships, and he's so excited when someone maybe of other NCT units, when they pick him, or when they try to reach out to him, or when they talk to him, even when they say hi to him, he's like so eager to engage with them. It's just that maybe, there's I feel it in me, like they have very strict instructions of not separating. I don't know if it's because, yeah, they're very young or what, but it's like, you guys have to be seen together. Don't get too social and just, we will lose you, because he probably gets a bit distracted and he will just end up in another corner talking to strangers, because he is like this. He's a rebel at heart. But yeah, he's very balanced. The same curiosity that he brings for outsiders. Also, I think that he's curious about other people's ethnicity, other people's culture. He's very curious. He wants to learn. But the justice is like, I have to bring this, because otherwise the other guys don't want to socialize. So I have to do something about this, because otherwise we'd all be shy and awkward together. And I want to go, and I want to break the mold. In the case of Sion, wait guys, that I have to write down the names. He is a Leo with either Taurus or Gemini moon. Sounds like Gemini based on yes, it sounds like Gemini. Yeah, it sounds like Gemini, like so energetic. He cannot stay still. Okay. Um let's see Sion. I believe Sion is the leader. Okay, Sion. For Sion we have beggar. Beggar, and we have the Two of Cups. Partnership. So I think that for Sion is why do I feel like he's such a Pisces? And I know he's not a Pisces, but it feels like, I live for the others. He's a very humanitarian kind of person. I think that he's not individualistic at all. He doesn't know how to be individualistic. He probably is. I don't know why I feel pity for him all of a sudden. I don't know why. I feel like he tries really hard to be liked by everyone. I think that with the beggar archetype, I'm like, I see him just being so nice and so polite and being like, hello, and smiling all the time and just being so pleasant and just wanting to connect. He wants to connect with people. And probably he's very sensitive also. This is why I'm like, he gives me Pisces vibe. Like, why? I know he's not a Pisces, but anyways, with the kind of partnership, the Two of Cups also is like he is the kind of, if he's the leader, he's going to rule with a lot of empathy. He's going to be an empathic leader. He's going to be very sweet, he's going to listen to his members. He's going to do everything for the members. And with the beggar archetype, I think that there's something about him, having to be a leader, but he cannot be strict. He's the kind of leader that he will be like, please, can you do this for me? Please, yes, thank you. Like so polite, like so sweet, so, so, I don't know, so understanding. I think that, I don't know why, I'm like, I want to give him a hug because he's doing his best to be liked by people. He's very emotional. He's a very emotional person. There's something about him, he really gets his validation, for, I would say for, getting a good feedback from the others. He's a bit, dependent. I would say he is a bit of dependent on what the others say. He's like trying to be like the good guy. He's trying to be liked by others. He's like, I depend on the others, so I want them to think the best of me. But it's just that maybe it can come up a bit like he's trying too hard to be liked. With the beggar, there's something about maybe in this point in his life, he feels a bit like he has to work extra hard to be recognized or to be validated or to be seen even. I think that he will struggle a bit with being an authority. Maybe he has to, tell the guy something in a very, authoritarian way. He doesn't know how to. So this will get him a bit frustrated because he wants to be at peace with everyone, and this cannot be. So I think that partnership, relationships, also his group dynamic is affecting him very much. He's someone that he's like literally begging the other, I don't know why he's like begging the other children to behave, and he's like, please guys, do your best, please, don't make a mess, but him being with this soft, motherly kind of voice, he still doesn't have that strong structure. He's trying his best to be polite. He's trying his best to not cause a stress or a bad environment for the others. He feels very responsible. He feels very emotional. He maybe neglects a bit his own needs, but it's just that I don't know what they told him when they made him the leader. That he feels like, this is a very important role for him, but at the same time maybe he's like, I have the responsibility of treating them well, of making them feel seen, feel listened to. I have to be empathic. I have to be there for them. I have to pay extra attention to them as if they were my babies. And even though he is a baby himself, he is also someone that is inexperienced in relationships. But with the Two of Cups, it feels like he needs to be emotionally involved in this group. He cannot be detached. He cannot be authoritarian. He has to get to know each member deeply, very profoundly. He has to get to their hearts, their minds. He has to inspect every member's emotion and feelings and perceptions very well, because he doesn't want to misunderstand them. There's something about him like, I have to study them very well because some of them don't communicate well. And this is not about language barrier. It's more like they don't tell me things, so I have to get deeper. This is why we have the beggar. I somehow have to beg them, guys, please, if you have a question, let me know. If there's something that you are not sure about, let me know. He has to beg for this connection. He's like, guys, always be confident that you can come back to me, that you can tell me if there's something that you didn't like, there's something that you didn't see or you didn't understand, please talk to me. I'm here for this. But he has to say it in a soft way. I don't know if it's to not scare the other children, but he has to be soft. This is why it feels like he's always like, please, thank you, very, very polite. Sion double Taurus with a bunch of Gemini placement, but has a lot of Neptune horoscope, so makes sense you're getting Pisces. Difficult boundaries. Very sweet. Very sweet. But it's, I mean, I like it that he values the members. He's like, this is my style. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to talk to them very tenderly. I'm going to talk to them with love and appreciation and respect. So I love it because he's a child himself. So him having this level of awareness, congratulations to him. He's so wise. Okay, I'm going to continue with Riku. Yeah, with Riku got the archetype of the queen archetype, and he got the Knight of Cups. So what is going on with Riku? He's stealing everyone's hearts. Is he really that charming? The keyword in here is says charm. Is he really that charming? I don't know about him. But, there's something with, Riku's energy, just also feeling very watery, but also very like, I'm in the spotlight. I'm a queen. Pay attention to me. He's very attractive. He loves the attention, even though he's charming and he's sweet and he's sensitive, but he's like, if you put me in the spotlight, I'm going to shine. I'm going to be amazing. He loves to be appreciated. He loves people to telling him, good things about his appearance or the way he is. He probably acts a bit like, oh no, thank you, I'm not like this. But I think that he definitely values queen behavior. Or I wonder, queen treatment, not behavior. I wonder if there's people that I wonder if there's people that really treat him like royalty. Like there's something about him melting people's hearts. There's something about him just getting people's attention and people treating him like royalty. Really, people being under a spell for him. He has something that is like, he doesn't have to do much to seduce people or to get people to do what he wants. There's something about people giving him the special treatment without him actually doing much. He's just there, he exists, and he's just so attractive, and he's so people love him. Probably he doesn't, he could it be that he has a bit of pride or an attitude that is a bit I don't want to say cocky, but there's something about him loving himself very much, and somehow people catching that and being like, I want to be next to you, or you're so cute, I want to give you my attention because you are amazing, and him being like, I know, I'm amazing, I'm a queen. Yeah, give me all your love and attention. I love it. I love it. And I don't know. I think that he's just so cute. His energy feels very, very cute. But yeah, with Knight of Cups, I think that also his charm, if it still is something that you are slowly starting to see of him, is going to develop with time. It feels like he's a very Venusian kind of person, like he's giving me Leo. I don't want to be that obvious with the Leo archetype because we do have the card Queen, but I wonder if he has a strong Leo placements, because he definitely has like an attitude that you're like, this guy really loves himself, really loves himself. He doesn't take crumbs. He wants your whole attention, and he wants to be famous. There's something about him being like, yeah, I deserve to be here, I deserve the spotlight, love me. And I think that the more as he gets older and more like accustomed to the spotlight, he's going to develop a specific charm. Maybe now you don't see it very much, but eventually he can become like, I don't know if he's like the center, the visual, but he could become that. He has this very, he's very eye-catching. Oh, there's something that he suits. Maybe he doesn't do anything, but he's such a queen behavior. He's like, he receives compliments left and right, and he doesn't do anything actually. He's just be himself, and people love him. Or they offer to give him things or pamper him or compliment him, and he's like, oh yes, thank you. He looks very humble also, but inside of him, there's this confidence that is boiling inside of him. He's like sort of starting to embrace that, I kind of like it when people treat me like a queen. I feel special. I like it. Mm. Ah, Cancer Sun, Gemini Moon, and Venus conjunct his moon. Very feminine. Yes, very feminine. Oh, a lot of Gemini Moon in this group. Yeah, talking about Gemini, we have a Jaehee. Jaehee. Wait. We have Jaehee. Wait. Yeah. Jaehee. He is the Gemini of the group, I believe. I don't know. I know there was a Gemini, but I don't know if he's the Korean member. Because I see his name and I'm like, he must be a Korean member. Okay, he got the archetype of the wounded child. Wounded child, poor kid. Why this archetype, wounded child? But we have the King of Pentacles as well. This is wealth. So somehow it's like, yeah, don't buy too much the wounded child archetype, because actually he's very wealthy. Or he's going to be very wealthy. Or he's going to build like a very wealthy, stable, career, status. He's very stable. Even though he could be a Gemini, he feels very stable. I feel him very mature, very experienced, very serious. Like he's serious about his career, or he's serious about his role in the group. I don't know if he's like the oldest, but it feels, it feels important. It's just that, yeah, maybe with Wooden Child, there could be something about, maybe initially people see him like this very like unprotected child. I know they're all children, literally, they're all very young, but maybe people see him like this, with this archetype, that somehow maybe people feel sad for him at some point, or they feel him like, he's not validated enough, or they feel like they need to protect him. They need to protect him, or there's something about his vibe that people are like, oh, he mustn't have it easy. I'm sure he had a tough childhood, or something like this. Like, I don't know, maybe he said something. Like there's like a wound in his. Why is giving me Capricorn energy? Like the kid that had a very tough childhood, and he had to become mature all of a sudden. He had to become like, the big brother, or he had to become, mature beside, very fast, and he didn't enjoy his childhood very much. I don't know why. I don't think that he is like this, but there's something with the wooden child that people feel sorry for him. And I wonder why. They feel like maybe he had been, that, life is challenging for him, or that he looks sad. Could it be that people think like he looks sad? That he looks like, oh my, like he needs a hug, or he needs us to support him because it feels like, life is tough for him. But actually, he has the potential of being a king of pentacles. So I think that he's very ambitious inside of himself. I wonder if he's a Capricorn moon, because it feels like he's very ambitious. Yeah, he could maybe, there could be elements of him looking soft, and I don't know why I want to say like unprotected, like people don't protect him, or people don't think about him, and him looking a bit lost maybe in the group. Maybe there's something about the dynamic of the group that you're like, there's something about that guy that I feel like he's lost in there, or that no one assists him, or no one pays attention. I don't know, but it feels like a projection all the way. Or maybe, maybe he has a character. Maybe he has like a sort of, a persona that he was like, okay, you are going to be the sad guy in the group. Or you're going to be like, like the one with the sad story. Because, they could do that. But, we have the king of pentacles. So I'm like, is he rich? Is his family rich? Like, is there like a rich background in here? Because I see him accumulating a lot of wealth. Actually, he's a very expensive person. Or if he's not, his goal in this group is to be, is to earn a lot of money. With his talent, with his presence. There's something about his value in the group that I think that he's like the most mature one. So I think that people shouldn't feel sorry for him. He's not wounded. He's actually a very capable person. He's very strong. I feel him very steady, very like in his body. I feel him very like secure, probably a bit stubborn, there's something about him being like, don't move me. I will get there eventually, but let me be. I will do it when the time is right. He has a lot of potential. But yeah, he's very mature. He's very mature. A king of pentacles is someone that they know what to do, and they're very confident. So he can be like an anchor to the group, a sort of safety of the group, because he feels very stable. I feel him very mature, very like, it's just that, maybe he has a face or something that people are like, oh, he looks like he's lost. Like, why do I feel like people think that he's like he's an orphan, like he's lost in there, like someone tossed him in there, and they're like, don't come back until you become famous. And he doesn't have that side of the story, actually. But yeah, watch him, because this king of pentacles, is going to become very popular, very productive, also very productive member. Maybe he had like a hiatus or something like this, and people feel sorry. Could it be, sometimes people get in their feelings. Yes. Yeah, it feels more like this. Yeah. Yeah, but he has potential. Actually, I like it. So yeah, don't sleep on that man, because he has potential of growing, expanding, and just, also sustaining this level of maturity, endurance, and also him creating a lot of wealth for himself and others. So yeah, don't sleep on his potential. He's not that wounded child. I don't know why people think like, oh, he's wounded, we have to save him. Like, no, maybe he has a face that people are like, oh, he looks sad. I don't know. Please don't see him like this. He's actually a very stable person, very hardworking also. Yes. Yeah, I understand, Fluffy. Yeah, it makes more sense. I mean, this is what I'm picking. I don't know. Maybe then we can look at their birth charts, but I'm feeling this. Okay, I'm going to continue with Yushi. Yushi, with Yushi, we have the card of companion, and we have the death card. Let go, it says. It's giving me Libra. I know he's not a Libra, but it's giving me Libra with card of companion, literally. He has a lot of learn to do, a lot of evolution to do. He has the archetype of companion, so there's something about his personality or his archetype is being shown as someone that he needs of someone else in order to shine. I don't know if it's like him and another member always being stuck together like twins, or there's something about people also wanting, they don't want to leave him alone. There's something about like, come here, come with us, you're gonna be there alone, like come here with us, don't be there alone. But with the death card, let go, is basically that his evolution maybe in the group, or maybe his own evolution as a person, is that he has to somehow separate himself from the companion archetype. He has to transform his energy and get more in the, it's not that it's not good for him to be someone's companion, it's just that maybe there's a potential of him shining more if he allows himself to be more individualistic, or if he embraces his own individuality instead of always being next to someone. Because I think that for a man, for a person like him, he can get like caught up, or he can lose himself while being others' companion. Like, if, for example, if someone ship him, which the shipping culture in K-pop is normal. So if someone ship him with another member, if he invests in this, or if he stays in that energy, and he's always with that member, and there's always this narrative that probably is already built around him and another member, he will never be able to get out of this. He will always be considered like, oh, it's him and the other person. Oh, I ship him and the other person. And it's never about him. And I think that his individuality is pushing here. Like, you need to become your own character. You need to become your own protagonist. Like, on your own, you have a lot of attractiveness. This man, this child, because he's a child. For me, he's a child. But he has the potential of being maybe even a soloist. Or a main artist. Like, there's something about him, having to, maybe he will learn with the years, but with the kind of let go, is like, don't get comfortable with the idea of always be going hand in hand with another person. Also, stand in your own individuality. Don't lose yourself in connections. Only then you are going to discover your own potential. And also, people are going to start to appreciate him more, because he's going to be like, oh, there he goes, him. This member, Yushi. Yushi, is it? Yeah, Yushi. This member, Yushi. See, but he has to, I think that probably with the card of let go, I think that, also the death card is very drastic, and also is very aggressive. So probably this is going to take a while. Maybe this is a person that he has certain attachment issues, or he is very dependent on others. Maybe he feels he's a companion right now in his life because he feels safer like this. The other person is my safe space. This is why I go hand in hand with them. And I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be alone. And people don't want to leave him alone neither. But somehow, with the card of death, there's a transformation in this archetype. He's not always going to stay like this. And I think that this is part of his development. He has a strong change coming at some point in NCT Wish. At some point, he's going to rebel, or he's going to transform, or he's going to change, and somehow he's going to be, I don't know, a soloist, or an actor, or he's going to be sent somewhere to do a solo activity or a solo gig, and he's going to have to face this change. I mean, like, oh my god, like, I'm here without the members, what do I do? I'm always a companion, I'm always next to this person, what do I do if I'm alone? You got this. It's part of your expansion. It's part of you getting to know who you are, because he has a lot of potential. It's just that, sometimes getting stuck in this, only getting attached to the people that you know, or the members of your group, and not interacting with others. It's like, no, you have to get out. You have to get out and get to know people. Talk to them. Introduce yourself to them. Very nice. Oh, I want to write free. Yushi is Aries Sun, Libra Moon. Why are the cards so obvious? I was like, I'm not going to say Libra because I see companion, but it was screaming to my face. It was screaming. Thank you, Fluffy, for the astrological insight. Thank you so much. Because I don't know, I just wrote down the names. Okay, I'm going to continue with the last one, with my baby, with my son. Sakuya has an 84 mom, so I'm an 85 liner, so I could be his mother, literally. But yeah, he's the magnet of the group. Let's see, he has the archetype of servant, and he has the 7 of Wands, defense. It's so tough to get to know Sakuya, and I think that he's someone that energetically he doesn't let you near. He's like, yeah, thank you, yeah, don't come too near me, I don't like it. He doesn't like people in his space. He's like me, literally. like I don't like to be touched, I don't like you to invade my personal space. I'm like, it's not like I have something against a person, but my initial is like, yeah, just wave at me from afar, don't touch me, like, he's like this as well. He gets tense. He doesn't like it. He doesn't find it cute nor funny. He maybe smiles to the cameras because he's like, I guess I have to look friendly, but I don't like it. Just, keep your hands to yourself. Don't touch me. I don't like it when you do that. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. He doesn't trust anyone, so it's not personal, but he's like, don't touch me. Thank you. With the archetype of servant, yeah, I think that the archetype of servant is very, maybe people are like, oh wow, what an archetype. But I think that, yeah, he's a member that, yeah, because he's the magnet, but he's a very helpful magnet, literally. With the archetype of servant, he's there to serve. He's there to help the others. He's probably very pendant on what do you need? I'm going to go and get it for you. Or do you want this? I'm going to go and do this for you. And he wants to be of service. He wants to be helpful. He's always like paying attention to what the other needs. He probably is like, everyone is talking and he's like looking to the side if there's someone struggling or someone needs to get something, and he's like, I will do it for you. And he gets up and he does it. He's very of service. I see him very much. That's his love language. But also I think that he's someone that he probably, the way he deals with anxiety, because maybe he's a bit, he's a child, of course. This is why when we have the card of the seventh ones, defense, is because he's a child, and somehow he's in the industry and he's, seeing all these people and everyone is coming to him and trying to, being cute with him, and he's like, yeah, but I don't know you. Like it's tough. It's tough. He's not that, he's not that affectionate as well. It's like he has to feel safe in order for him to show a bit of affection, and he probably, when he does it, it's him being by himself. He doesn't want to show vulnerability on camera or on the stage. It's his decision to be like this. He has a lot of boundaries, and he tries his best to not look that rigid, but definitely he's someone that he's on the fence, and I don't think that you are going to change him. Actually, I think that he's going to become much more assertive about boundaries in time, especially when he gets older. He's going to be known for being that member that, yeah, he's the magnet, but don't touch him. He doesn't like it when you're all around him, like in his face, touching his face, or he's like, I don't like it, stop it, don't touch me. And he probably is bearing it because it's like, okay, people are watching, I'm being recorded, this is on camera, but he's like, I don't like it. And in the Seven of Wands also is a very masculine card. Is a card of direction, is a card of energy. He is someone that his boundaries are coming from his masculine self, not so much from like, oh, it's because I'm a baby and I'm not used to being around strangers. No, it's like him asserting his own masculinity. He probably doesn't like to be babied as well. He's like this, but at the same time, with the archetype of servant. And I know that he loves color pink. So seeing that his cards are all pink colored, I'm like, oh, this is for him. But also with the card of servant, I think that he can give in a bit for the audience. It's like at the end, he's like, okay, I'm a server for the people. So yeah, whatever they need of me, I'm going to give it to them. I'm devoted to the group. I'm devoted to my members, so whatever they need of me, I'm going to do it. Even though I have my resistances, even though, there's certain parts of Sakuya that you will never see, even though you're so curious and you're like, oh, I cannot wait for him to talk, I don't know, more and tell us more about his life and what he likes and what he doesn't like. And he's like deciding that no, because probably there's something about him being like, at some point he's going to give that change where he's going to turn into a man, and it's going to be a very different side of him. He wants to dominate more, probably the scene. He wants to dominate more in the concepts. He wants to be seen more masculine. So it's like you will not get the baby Sakuya for a very long time. I think that this is about to change at some point, maybe from here to 2 years. You're going to see Sakuya do a flip in his image, and you're not going to see the pink anymore. But yeah, from now he's like running, trying to, please everyone and make sure that everything is in order. He could have a bit of OCD. I could see him like just cleaning somewhere because he's a bit nervous, so he doesn't know how to collaborate or what to do. So he could instantly just, be cleaning spaces or arranging things, just because he needs to be busy. There's something about his nature that he's like, if I'm busy, I don't think. that much. I don't think that much. But he all the time he's on the defense, and he somehow he's trying to be soft. I think that he's like, I'm trying to give the audience what they want of me, but at some point you're going to start to see it, that actually he's not. He's a very masculine guy. I think that from all the members, he's the most assertive one. So wait for him. Wait for him. He's not that baby. He's not that pink. He's going to transform himself. Right now, he's delivering to you guys what you want. He's being pleasant. He's being, understanding. He's being of service. He's like, okay, you guys want this of me. I'm going to be your baby. But then, this is not going to last that long. It's going to change. He has Moon-Uranus conjunction. I don't know why I thought that people told me that he was a moon in Aquarius, but I don't know. I have that. I'm quite selective about touching in private space as well. He also has a Venus-Uranus trine, but it's not the square like you, which shows more strongly. Okay. He also has Moon-Saturn opposition, which is more rigid, like you said. Interesting. Maybe as a Pisces moon, he has to do that to protect energy too, because of the sensitivity. Yes. And also he's such a giver, with the servant archetype. I think that he was taught. This is not about a characteristic that is going to last, because somehow he was taught in his household to always be of service, to always help others, help others clear things, help always, arrange everything, make everyone feel comfortable, always be useful. Don't stand there just not doing anything. He's a very useful person. There's something about the house, cleaning the house, cleaning your environment, ordering things. This is very important in his lifestyle. He is built like this. He probably knows more about, cleaning a house than all the other members. But there's something about him being on the fence about this. He's like, guys, for quite a few years, I'm going to give you this image, but then I'm going to change. Then I'm going to enter into my masculinity. Aries would make sense, ruled by a Cancer Mars, very protective shell, and he'd have his sun in the 8th house as well, secretive but strong. Yes, he's still like defending himself, but I think that there's like a Martian push or pull inside of him, that he's like, I'm not that that sweet. I'm actually very masculine. Does he have like a strong voice? Because he's like very masculine. It's just that maybe he has been like his image. I feel it very, like I said, we know that he loves color pink, and everything about him feels very pink. The card that he got is very pink. But I think that with the card of defense, there's a lot of fire. There's something about him being like, I don't know how long I'm going to sustain this image or this archetype, because actually I'm not like that. He's a very straightforward man, very passionate man. And he sets boundaries right away. If he doesn't like you, he doesn't like you. There's no need for excuses. He's very straightforward. Maybe his gestures are very straightforward, are very blunt. He's very blunt. It could be in Aqua, but that's unlikely based on time of birth. He will have to be born before. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know where I read that he was in Aquarius moon. And it somehow makes sense, because, I seen Johnny being very attached to Sakuya. Like, he really taking Sakuya like his son under his wing. And that Johnny is not that. I mean, he has become very demonstrative, through the years. But I think that this is my first time seeing him so attached to a member. A younger member, like he definitely is his child. So I'm like, there has to be an attraction, a correspondency between their energies. But I see, when I had the card of defense, I'm like, this is so Sakuya because I seen, Johnny in particular, he calls him, he wants to treat him like a baby, and Sakuya is like, like, get away from me. He actually looks a bit like Lee Joon Gi, who you read for today, who is an Aries. So he must have an Aries rising then. Yeah, because there's a potential of masculinity and force in him. There is. There is. I think that it will develop eventually. We will see it. This is why I'm like, because I watch NCT Wish performances, but I don't remember. Does he have like a strong voice? Like a masculine voice? Because that's also very Aries. But he's someone that he's asserting his dominion. When he's defending himself, everything that he does is because he's asserting his own autonomy, his own independence. It's like, don't get in my space. I'm younger than you, but does he like martial arts as well? Does he know how to fight? I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but maybe the fans know. I don't know. I'm getting to know them energetically. Yeah, he has this tricky quality to him, troublemaker. This is going to be his brand. Yes, yeah, like he's goofy. Like there's something also about him being original. Like I remember when he first I remember people were talking about him having all these plushies, all these keychains that they were all of stuffed animals. He had a lot, like hanging off his small, backpack, and everyone were like, like, oh my God, look at all these keychains, they were like all these huge, like it was a lot, like a lot of stuffed animals as keychains of his backpack. And people were like, oh, yeah. And even the NCT members were like, whose bag is this? And it's like, oh, it's Sakuya's. It's Sakuya's bag. Um, he's just like me, when he likes something, he goes all the way. He buys all the plushies. I am like that. If I consume something, I consume it all the way. Okay. uh, I love it for him. I think that yeah. I mean, when I saw the cards of defense, I'm like, I love it because just because you are Le Magne or just because you look like cute, that doesn't give the others, the permission of being like, oh, I'm going to baby, and he's like, I don't like that. Well, Japanese idols love to play soccer. They all in the profile they have the same. He has a very cover and would have wanted to be swimmer if not an idol. Okay. Okay. He kinda also reminds me, now that we're talking about Aries potential, Aries energy. It also reminds me of talking about magnets that don't like to be magnets. I'm thinking about, Monsta X IM. That he has his Aquarius, but he has moon in Aries. So there's something about him also, yeah, I'm the magnet, but I have this strong voice, this. I could see Sakuya going into that evolution as well. It's like, yeah, I'm shy, I'm awkward, well, we just started, but as we evolve and as the years pass, I'm going to show you my individuality. Yes. Yeah, soccer over here is a very boy thing. Yes, here also. Yeah, every child plays soccer. Girls and boys. I've been checking Monsta X performances a bit, and IM is my bias, I think. IM, yes, IM is it has a great, like, I like of the songs, his parts are my favorite. Yes. Kihyun has an amazing voice as well, but I think that from the part, I prefer more IM style more than Johuni. Johuni gives it, like, of course, he's very dynamic and he's very original. I do love, Johuni's rap is very iconic, but I think that I love it when they combine with the strong voice of IM as well. I think that they're a great duo. Rap, in the rapping part. Mm. Yes, yes, uh-huh. He doesn't give cute magnet energy at all either. To be fair, Sakuya does look a bit Aquarius. Yeah, he does. He has this androgynous kind of, like, but also, because if it was Pisces, it would be like cute but dreamy. In this case, it's like cute and but detached. Cute, like, like, don't touch me. Like, yeah, I'm cute, but just watch me from afar. Yeah, I know. I am. Yeah, I understand. Yes. Hey, Akira. Hello. I like Shonu's voice the most. Like the tall dancer. That's him, right? Is it Shonu or Hyungwon? Hyungwon is the other tall dancer. Hyungwon. Is it Hyungwon? I don't remember. Yes, it has champion style. Yes. Johoni. Mm-hmm. Is very much like a Changmin style. Yes, very out there, very, commanding, like loud. Like, I love it. It's Shonu. Yeah, I do love Shonu. Actually, I love Shonu's body, honestly. Like, I have to be, like, honest 100%. I love Shonu's body. The other day, you know that we were talking about ChatGPT and this whole, like, some people, because I had clients also that they were like, I read myself tarot with ChatGPT. And I was like, I don't use it for tarot, but I was like asking for, astrological compatibility, among the NCT members. No, among the idols, I believe I asked, and then I was specific. But I don't know. I think that ChatGPT is so. I don't know. I think that is so not accurate because I give them my date and everything, and I believe it said that I had an Aquarius moon. No, that I had a Leo moon. What? No, but well, out of the NCT members, they had chosen Taeyong for me. Taeyong. I don't agree with that. I know he's a Cancer and everything, but I don't agree. But out of the idols, they given me three. Out of the idols that I will be compatible with, they given me Taeyong of BTS, Taeyong of NCT, and Jungkook. I think that maybe Jungkook must be really popular, like among the girls or women that ask for Jungkook. So this is why Jungkook came up. I know he's a Virgo, but it's like I don't see compatibility in there. Like there's other Virgo idols that could fit more. Um, but yeah, I got those. I got V, I got Taeyeon, and I got Jungkook. I'm not satisfied with neither of them. I'm like, I don't want neither of them. The only thing that it said that it was like, it also gave me like a second place option for me, and they mentioned RM, and they said something about like, yeah, we could be compatible, but somehow, because RM's, like sort of, energy, and also he could be a lot for me. Like, there's something about there be like a disconnection, or an incompatibility because of the way he would show himself. And when I read that, I was like, I kind of agree with that part, because remember that I told you guys that I had a dream with Jungkook and with RM, and that with RM, like things develop in the dream. Things developed very fast. Like we made out and everything, and it was all so passionate. But at the same time, I felt very uncomfortable with him because he was talking a lot. He was like, it seemed like in my dream he was bragging a lot about what he knew, and he wasn't even interested in listening to me or what I had to say. So I felt like yeah, like it was nice, like he was spontaneous, more spontaneous than JK. But I felt a bit like seeing him talk, like it seemed that he was giving me a lecture, and I was like so put off by that. I was like, okay. And I was like, oh, I will not see you again. But I don't know. When I saw it in a chat GPT, I was like, oh, that you got right. I tried doing that with ChatGPT, but it's hard with astrology because you have to synthesize and look at the aspect, even if you give him all your places. Oh, wow. Poor. Let's not stress him. No, it won't calculate your chart correctly. Okay. Actually, I should look up the charts and give you my opinion on astrology for a group. I think JK could just look, yeah, JK could be good, just because remember that you said that there was like a celebrity part where you could like match your birth chart with a celebrity. I couldn't find it to do it. I was curious when we once talked about that. I wanted to do it, but then I was like, how do I do this? I enter the website and I didn't know how to do it. Yeah, Jungkook, yeah, it could be. Disagree with Taeyeon and B. And also B came up first. B came up first, like the first one out of all of them. And I was like, really? Are you really sure? JK seems really good. Okay. My man is Hechan, but that one Jin dream I had said otherwise. Yeah, yeah, you could have both, Akira. Jin seems like a good partner. Like he has that vibe. I remember when I read for him about romance, I guess. He seems very mature. Despite of what we see of him online and everything, and what he shows to the camera, I think that in relationships he's a very stable guy. I think that he's very honest with his partners, and I think that that's something that I like it about him. I like it. Hechan would treat you like a princess. Hechan definitely would treat you like a princess. He would give you everything that he has and more. He seems very generous, Hechan. It was so random, he's not even my bias. Ah, no. Oh, my, no. Oh, wow. Oh, sorry, guys. Allergies. I told you, allergies. The weather is about to change, I'm sure. Gracias. It was funny because I touched my nose, but because it hurt. It hurt. Hmm. Here it has been raining a lot. Oh, here today it's Children's Day today. This is why everyone is outside. They're all celebrating. Um, I have to go and see my godson and my other nephew. Ah, okay. Give me a group. I look up their chart. NCT. My first group is NCT. My first group. NCT and Monsta X. NCT and Monsta X. And maybe ITs as well. Yeah, all NCT. Yeah, yes, all NCT. It just if it says something NCT Wish, of course, eliminate it. Don't tell me. Um, but yeah, NCT. Yeah, NCT. Wavy. Or maybe just put NCT 127, just in case I get someone that is younger, very young, because they are all younger than me. But I don't want to feel like, ugh, yeah. But I do love Wavy though. It's tough. But yeah, most X and 80s, yes. Akira, I read for Chaeyoung's solo. So then I'm going to put the timestamps later. Uh, yeah. Okay, guys, I'm going to go because I have to cook. I have to cook. I have to. You also have to go and live your life. Enjoy the rest of the Sunday. But yeah, this was so fun. Thank you so much for accompanying me. Thank you, Fluffy, for the astrological, insight while I was reading for the wishes. So yeah, this was a bit of everything with a tiny part for NCT Wish, so we can get to know them energetically a bit. So I had a lot of fun doing this. Thank you so much, and yes, I'll see you on Wednesday, guys. Have a lovely start of the week. Bye.